Hey everybody, it's the Boosh Bag. Miss Boosh Bag to you. You right there. The rest of y'all can call me Boo Boo. Hey Boo Boo. And I missed you guys so much. I feel like I haven't made a video in like a really long time. I made my last video on the 7th. I think today is the 17th. So it's like 10 days. It's like a week and a half. Anyway, there is a reason for that. I went away last week because my sorority had its 100-year anniversary or Centennial Celebration. So I was gone from like Thursday to Monday. I had a blast. It was wonderful. If you are interested in that video, you know, I'll just leave a little link right here. And you can click on that. It's over on my other channel. Beautiful. Anyway, the whole Centennial thing was just beautiful. Lots and lots of events and lots of celebrities and all kinds of things. So President Obama spoke to us, gave us a big inspirational message. Erpene performed, Maurette Brown Clark performed. I met, well, I did not meet, that is a lie. I saw the Surgeon General. She happens to be my sorority sister. And some other people were awarded some awards by my sorority during one of our honor ceremonies. And one of those people was Reverend Jessie Jackson. Now, I say all of that to say that I know some people feel a little shadiness about Jessie Jackson and all of that, but you know, I don't got no hate for the man. I think he's pretty cool, and you know, just like Al Sharpton, they always there when something go down with black people. They always fighting for us, and I mean, who else gonna fight for us? I mean, come on, really. Anyway, not even my point. He was talking about something. I can't even get into or say exactly what it was that he was talking about, because I can't remember, because I got so caught up in the message that I actually got from what he was saying. And it was something along the lines of, well, we were talking about slavery, and he was like, well, the enslaved, and then he said, I'm not going to call them slaves. He was like, because they're not slaves. These are our ancestors. It's your grandmother, that's your grandfather. They are people, they are human beings that were enslaved. They are not slaves. And I couldn't even hear the rest of his message, because that was so true. It was so profound, and it was something I don't know if I ever really took into account before. I'm sure you don't know my brother, unless you like one of my close friends from when I was a teenager, but my brother, quite the militant man. I mean, really militant, like really black power. And I've been trying to, you know, force all of these black power images and statements and mantras into my head for many years, and I have ignored him because he's my big brother. Hello, I'm not taking any advice from him. But this sounded like something that he would have said, and it seems to me that he has probably actually said this to me before, and I probably just blew it off like he was talking about nothing. But it's so profound in the fact that the way that we perceive ourselves has a lot to do with the way that we project ourselves in the world and the way that we feel about ourselves. So just a term just as simple as calling someone a slave. I have a co-worker. She's from some other country, and I don't know where she's from. It's something that end with the word stand. So Kyrgyzstan or Uzbekistan or something stand. And when she's talking about people, she's very opinionated about each race or culture. She feels something about like everything. So she's like, oh well, the Turkish people are nothing. They are like they were slaves. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Like, I were slaves, okay, bitch? No. She my friend, but yeah, she be taking it there. I don't understand how having been enslaved makes you the bad person. How did I become bad to be enslaved? Why not the person who enslaved me? So I guess it's that whole captor sort of mentality that the people that are enslaved are the people who are beneath them or deserve to be enslaved or something along those lines. So if certain people get that imagery, why not also the people who have been enslaved? I mean, if the messages that we get are from the people who have enslaved us, why would we have a different perception than the people who enslaved us? We're all getting the same message. So I say all this to say that words do have meaning. I was talking to my brother about something probably a couple of months ago, and I was like, well, my boss said this, my boss that. He was like, stop calling him your boss. He is your employer. He is not your boss. You do not have a boss. I'm like, okay, Mr. Dictionary, Mr. Stickler for the word definition, but I totally get where he's coming from and what it was that he was trying to share with me at that point, just based on what I heard on this day. So once again, the language that we use, the words that we use can have an impact on how we wind up feeling about the people we're talking about or ourselves, actually. So to have a negative feeling about slaves, and to feel that you are a slave is not a good thing. And I also think that if we feel this way about the word slave, it makes us ashamed of our past, of our history. And it dehumanizes us. It makes us not want to relate to our ancestors. It makes us want to put a distance, a wall, like we're so very different, but we are not. To have a negative feeling about slavery and to realize where you are in that whole concept of slavery as being the people who are enslaved, and once again, people, not slaves. So people call you slaves, but you don't have to call yourself a slave, or you don't have to call your ancestors slaves. So yes, the people who came before me are in fact my ancestors, my grandfathers, my great-great-great-grandmothers, not slaves, human beings. And I hope that you can remember that, along with the stuff about the boss and all those other things. Think about the words that are coming out of your mouth and how they may impact others as well as yourself. Anywho, that's my message for the day. I got all political on y'all. Anyway, I will not take so long to make a video next time. I was just out of town, but I really did miss you guys, and I can't wait to talk to you again later.